Welcome back everyone. I know it's been a hot minute since the last video, but I'm hoping this one is worth the wait. I've packed that many awesome features into this base, it's going to be hard fitting them all in one video, but nevertheless, I'm going to try. This is a base that will give you everything you need, not just to survive your wipe, but to conquer your server. So without further ado, welcome to the aptly named Napoleon.
We did it, lads! We fucking won! Oh fuck, wait! Hey, wait, they're coming! Lads, they're coming! There's a fucking alarm! Fucking give us field eyes! Give us
Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to build this now. The downside to having features like pixel gaps and hidden loot rooms though is that you do end up with an incredibly cursed starter base with this footprint. So that's just a quick disclaimer before we get into it. I highly recommend building a standard 2x1 and then when you have enough resources to get this whole thing down, then transition into that. It does take about 10 stone nodes to get the whole thing down, but it is a bit of a pain, so just warning you of that. Start with a triangle followed by 2 raised triangles. And then we're going to raise the third one off of it. Upgrade the middle one. Place 3 walls off it like this. And then 1 more wall off of this one here. Followed by a triangle frame up top. Coming down here. Should look like that. Drop this square and then build 9 triangles out off of this one. Square off the end and then delete the build back. We're going to delete those 2 twig triangles there as well and build back with squares. Make sure that this last triangle is connected to the square foundation. Easy way to check you've done it right is that big stone will be in the bottom left. Build 1 more square across and do the same thing here. This one's a little easier because you can kind of tell. Look at the right leg of this triangle, it goes out and then in. Make sure it's the furthest one in and then the stone will be bottom left again. Delete that square followed by this the build back. And we're going to go 9 more triangles out. We're just doing the first pixel gap here, so square off the end of it and do the same thing, delete the build back. Make sure you keep the 2 twig triangles this time. And build back again. When you get to this second last one, just build 1 more across and then make sure you're placing this last square off of the one you just placed. To double check these ones, that big stone will be up the top, just like that. Alright, we can delete all these now and go ahead and upgrade. I recommend making this one metal just because at some stage you're not going to be able to access that, so it's easier to do it now rather than later. Alright, we're going to start with a low triangle, followed by 2 raised triangles, followed by a final raised triangle. And then after that we crawl into these triangles here and just place a raised square. Same on this side, raised square. Bit painful to place sometimes. And once we've got that, go half wall, followed by a regular wall. Regular wall on this side, same there. Upgrade all of these. And then 2 doorways. Make sure this outer one is only upgraded to wood. This is just temporary access to the starter base. We are going to get rid of that later. Okay, first roof you want to place is off of that frame there. That's super important. Outside of that, they don't really matter all that much. The next one's probably this triangle here. Make sure it's placed off of your doorway. It'll be 92% stability if you've done it correctly. Upgrade that one now, followed by this one. And go ahead and fill the rest of the roofs in. You will notice because we've done offsets, some of the roofs are just going to break immediately. That's fine. All that means is you're not placing it right until it actually places. So this one, for example, needs to go off that wall, and it places. For the rest of them, you can just sort of spam the roofs in, and it doesn't matter a great deal. Alright, once we've done that, you definitely want to slap some doors down. Wooden doors are fine for the time being. It's sort of just like based on your progression. Next thing we're going to do is place a low wall down here, and then a wooden doorway off the top of it, and seal yourself in just like this. And this is what I mean by you're not going to be able to access that bottom triangle. We're just going to seal that top one in there as well. You can leave it open sort of as long as you want, but just be aware you're not going to be able to get out of here until that's filled in. Alright, after doing that, we can connect the floors up. And we're just going to leave this open for now. I'll show you what to do with that in a little bit. Next thing we're going to do is place the TC down. If we haven't done that already, just place it in that corner there, leaving room for the window, but I wouldn't recommend placing it all the way back in the corner because you might not be able to reach it later on. Next, 2 door frames just like this. And then we're going to place a tier 2 or tier 1 workbench in this corner here. I recommend a tier 2, but you know, if you've only got a tier 1, then it is what it is, isn't it? And then half wall off this, and we're just going to make a little shelf here for a box to put on later. Finish that up with a window, and just like that, you're all good to go. So as you can see, I just filled it out a little bit. We've got 4 boxes in here, the 3 furnaces there for a jump up, and we got some sleeping bags in here. Next, I will show you how to place the vending machines. Just bear in mind, it's not important to place straight away, but when you do get vending machines, this is how you'll be doing it. I like to place the first one all the way over to the left. You just gotta drag it back until it lets you place, and then slide it all the way to the left. And then just have a little gap in between. You can see they can kind of like overlap there. You just want to make it so that they're touching on the like the blue is touching, and place it there, and you'll just have a tiny gap in the middle there. I'll just show you that I can still pick up the glass and access the TC behind there. And there you go. And also I've added garage doors in here, but you can use double doors for the time being. It's again, a lot of this stuff is just based on your progression. Yeah. Alright, next part, I will show you how to do underneath. First, we're just going to place a ramp here, upgrade that to whatever material you want. You will be able to reach all of these walls here. And you can upgrade any of this to the quality that you want. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and upgraded everything to the quality I usually finish with. Definitely don't do this on your starter. Just do it when you're in a position where you can. I've just sort of done it as more of a reference for you guys for later on. So I've just placed 3 boxes on the ramp there and 2 boxes here, as well as the shotgun traps. You can probably squeeze a few extra boxes in here. It's entirely up to you. And next, we're going to close off the hidden loot area. So this is super important. Just back yourself against this foundation here. And there's a spot where you can see this half wall change what slot it's on. As you can see, it just came a little bit closer to me. And back, closer, back, closer. I hope YouTube quality is like letting you see that, but I'll go real slow here. Further away, closer, further away, closer. The more you do this, the easier it is to find that sort of sweet spot. You just want to make sure it's on the slot that's closest to you. So not that one, it will be that one. Now jump up here and do the same thing with the triangle here. Just make sure it's furthest away from you on this one. So stand right on the edge. I did move the sleeping bags just back a little bit so I could show you a little bit easier. Stand right on the edge and slowly look down. And you'll see it move away from you, just like that. So that's close, and then that's far away. Once you've done that, you can upgrade it, and you can see you've got a little gap in here. Shoot it out, and as you can see, it breaks. And then when that little stopper goes away, you can redo it again. So I'll show you again. Closest to me, jump up, furthest away from me, upgrade, and then you've got your little gap in there. So this is what your footprint should be looking like after you've finish the interior of that starter base. Next we're going to go ahead and start building up the outside a little bit. First come around to this lower triangle and just place 2 raised triangles on either side. And then a square foundation at the end of the door here. Come around to this side that has the gap in the triangle here. I'm just going to fill that one in, place a wall on it, and add some roof. And then just come around and do the same thing on this side. Just 2 squares followed by, 2 triangles followed by a square. And upgrade that. That's what it should be looking like at this stage. Come back around here and fill this in. And we're just going to add some honeycombing onto either end of the base. Come around here and just do the exact same thing. After we've done that, we're going to try and get rid of this door. So to do that, we need to build up on the second level. And that's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is place 3 walls on either side on top. Sometimes they might be a bit difficult to place because of the offset, but if you just keep sort of looking down and up, you'll eventually find a spot that sort of suits them. Same on this side. Next, to the right of your drop down, just place another wall, and then a half wall wherever you can in there. And delete that one. That's just a shelf for your boxes to go on. And place doorways on either side of these. I'd actually probably recommend doing the doorways first before you sort of do that interior bit, just so you're a bit more secured. And then slap some doors on there. I don't know if I have any double doors, so we're just going to slap garage doors on there for now. You do eventually want to have all these as garage doors, but for the time being, this is fine. So the opposite of this little triangle here, you want to go down to this one. And this is where a battery is going to go. You can choose to put a window on there now, or you can leave it open until you put a battery in there. So just place 2 more shelves on this side. And I'm just going to pop some boxes in those. And once you've filled them up with boxes, just place some door frames on. And then garage doors. Just like that. And now we're just going to go ahead and seal in the second level. All done. Okay, next thing we got to do is put down some externals. We're going to start on the pointy side so that we can start getting rid of this door and getting a second way up to the second level. This will be done on both sides, so I'm just going to use symmetry here. Come to one of these ends and just drop a triangle off the end and place one in the middle as well. Delete this one. We're going to build out 8 squares, or 7 squares in a triangle, so... And then we're going to delete that build back. And now we're just going to build back with half moon triangles. You want to keep those last 3 triangles like that and delete all of this stuff. Then once you've done that, go ahead and upgrade these when you're ready. Okay, we're going to go ahead and build the externals on these 2 sides now. So just come down here and place 2 squares off of here. This is going to be the same on both sides as well. Get rid of that square there. Place a doorway here, and then a triangle off the end of it like this. Seal this triangle in. And I'm also just building in metal now, just save a bit of time on upgrading. You guys can do this at any stage. And a lot of this can also be stone, so it's sort of personal preference. Once it's looking like that, you just got to put a frame between there connecting. As you can see, it's the same on both sides. And then off of this triangle, just place a triangle foundation followed by 3 squares. And then 3 triangles off the end of it, like so. Delete these ones. And then on this one, you do want to make sure this compartment here is made of metal. Notice I've put 2 half walls here as well, that's important. And then this is where our other TC is going to go. You can also seal this in before you place that TC down, obviously. And then you can either put doorways or windows. I'll usually just do windows. If you do want sleeping bags and stuff in here, then just change this to a doorway as well. Seal both of these up. Pop some roofs on and pop a door on. Just like that. And then to connect them up, it's just a square off this side, a triangle off this side, and then connect them up. To disconnect them, you just have to go down and place a square foundation followed by a roof off it breaks, and then to replace it, just place that one back on there like that. As you can see, it's the same on both sides, so we've got those 2 external TCs done. And now we're going to work on building up this second level here. Okay, so first things first on the outside, we're just going to place one of these facing outwards. And then on the inside here, we're going to face them inwards. Pop a roof on top of there. And when you're ready, just put a locker or a battery in here. Whatever's in there and whatever's in there are interchangeable. And then just pop a door in there as well. Coming up here, we're going to place a wall followed by 2 doorways. And then roof that in. It's going to be the same on this side as well. So wall, 2 doorways and roofs. And then just pop doors on these when you're ready. Just like so. Coming up here, we're going to place 3 windows. And then we will place 2 triangle roofs. I like to make these adobe just because they have a smaller conditional model, but you can make them metal or stone, it's entirely up to you. If you do notice that you've got a gap in here, like this, the way to fix that is just by rotating your doorways. Make sure they're the same quality, otherwise it won't activate the conditional model. But yeah, you can see these were already placed right, and you can't see in there from the outside, so just make sure you do that. Coming up top here now, we've got our little jump up, and once you're up here, I'll just place 2 triangle roofs, and then this one, eventually it's going to be a ladder hatch, but if you don't have ladder hatch, just feel free to put a wooden triangle there and then just break it out later, but we're just going to fill it in with a ladder hatch for now, because we have the luxury of a build server. Then just add a low wall here, doorway here, and then we're just going to seal all of this in like so. Pop a door on there, and you can do the same thing, like you can place a wooden half wall here, it's entirely up to you. I'm just going to add a door here, because that's what's going to be there eventually. And there you go, you're all sealed in, and it'll be the same on the other side. So now we're a bit more secured, we can come over to our wooden door and chop that out. It literally just takes probably a couple of machetes and then you're in. Fill this in with the door, and I like to eventually upgrade that to armored as well. From the inside, this is just going to be our internal locker compartment. There is a bit of a sweet spot here that you need to place it in, but it's not too difficult to find. There it is, and there you go. So if your base is looking a little bit like a scuffed 3-year-old's Lego project, that means you're doing the right thing. We're going to try and fix that by coming down and adding a compound and the second lot of externals. So just come to the side that has the 2 garage doors and place a lowered square off the top of that, followed by another one. I'm going to build 6 more squares off this. And cap it off with a triangle. We're going to build half moons all the way back. And delete these ones. And then just place a square off the end of this, followed by 2 raised triangles on each side. If it lets me. Oh, it's not going to let me. There we go. And you'll know if you've done it right because there'll be a gap between these 2 foundations, just like that. Next, place a triangle off this, followed by a doorway and a window, and a double door. You can roof that off. Go ahead and place 2 walls on this side, and then these can be wooden, these 2 door frames here. You can go ahead and delete these 2 now, and place that there like that. Triangle ledge there, square on top, and then seal it all in. I'm just going to go ahead and add the doors to it. Okay, all done. So you just got the 2 chain link gates on the outside and then a regular gate on the inside. There will be a turret up here. I mean, I have a section at the end for deployable and turret placements and stuff like that. So if you guys want to see all that, just skip to the end. I just don't want to waste time with it right now. Okay, we need to start on the bunkered externals now. So just place a triangle off your door there, followed by 3 squares, and then 3 more triangles. Delete these ones. Place 2 half walls off of your first triangle, and then wall these sides in. Place 2 doorways facing inwards to begin with, and then doors on each of these. In one side I like to put a battery, but this is interchangeable with anything you want really. And then other side is the TC. Once you've done that, to get the bunker done correctly, I usually place a square off of here, and then a half moon of triangles. And then go all the way back into this corner here, get a triangle out and crouch. If you go too far, it won't let you place a triangle. But if you come back to when it appears, just line up the 2 points of the triangle with each other so that it's straight, and drag it all the way back until your blue framework is kind of just overlapping the metal, so you can kind of see there. Make sure it's still over in line with the triangle, and we will drop it just there. And then if we come to the outside, we can go ahead and rotate these back now. Place this one down, and as you can see, there is no gap on either side whatsoever. Delete that one now, and then to open it up, we just place a triangle, and then on top, we just finish all the roofs off like that. Remove the roof, and it's closed off, and that's how you do the perfect bunkered external. To connect it, it's exactly the same as the first one, so you just place a square, followed by a triangle, and then 2 more squares. To break this one off, you do just have to build over from this side, so it's a triangle, 2 squares, and then a roof. And that's how you break that one off. And then patch it back in. So now you've got all your externals done, we can get started on the compound. So last thing we're going to do before we get our walls down is finish off our bedroom pods. Coming over to one of these, I'm going to build them all out of metal, but you guys can build these out of partially stone, it's just for convenience. So 2 triangles off of the square on each side, followed by a wall and then a half wall. Finish it off with a window like that, and then a triangle frame on the outside. Put 2 triangle roof tiles on top of that, and then a 3rd triangle roof tile on top of this one. I think I just had a stroke. 2 doorways on the inside, and then we're going to place half walls across the top here. On all these sides, just leaving those 2 open. And then before we seal it off, just place your boxes in like this. And then cap it off like that. Get your embrasures and pop those on there. And I'm going to go ahead and decorate all of the inside as well as add the shotgun traps. If you want to see that, then skip to the end of the video. And voila, that's what it should be looking like once you're done. Now just add these 2 extra, not that one, 2 extra doorways on here. You do want to place a turret in there eventually. Again, I'm going to have a section of turret placements at the end of the video. Once you place that, it's just as simple as throwing the 2 chain links on like that. And then we can get started on the walls. Alright, so now we're going to get started on the walls. If you've seen any of my Rust videos before, you know I'm incredibly OCD when it comes to Rust building, so I have got a strategy for you to place these correctly. Come down this triangle that's on the outside and just place 2 low walls on it. Push yourself all the way into the corner, and then if you look to your right, there's sort of like a maximum distance that you can push it to, and just line up that right leg with the corner. As you can see, it kind of slots in there like that. Don't push it too far in, otherwise it won't reach, but just like about there is good. And then swing it around and make sure the bottom left leg is in the back of that triangle there. Delete these walls, and as you can see, perfect here and perfect here. So we're just going to go ahead and do that on all of the sides. Because I got symmetry on, I'll just show you again on this side. Same thing, push yourself into the corner, find that little sweet spot there. It's probably about here, and then swing it over just like that. And it's pretty easy to place every single time. And now your compound is done. Alright, to prevent people getting over our compound, let's go down to one of our bunkered TC sides. Important before we place our metal barricades down, we place these 2 door frames. We're going to need them later. And then next we're just going to place 2 triangles off the end here. And then I like to, well, this one is a little bit difficult to place, but if you can see that back spike, I like to line it up with the edge of the center square and then just drag it forward. And I think there's a bit of lag because it's not placing, but there we go. And then on this side, it's the front spike gets in line with the center square and just drag it all the way forward. It's a good way to get even spacing on all sides. And then we'll go ahead and do it on this side. No need for any additional frames on this side. And we're just going to place these ones where we can. There we go. So this one, the front spike is like that, and then the back spike is, oh, lag again. There we go. And that'll stop people getting over. Now we're going to start working on the next level. So first thing we're going to do is finish off the pillars on this side and that side. So to start that, you just get 3 half walls, followed by another one in the middle, 2 full walls on the outer sides, and then top this one off with a window frame, and then seal it all in on the top like so. Jumping up here, connect these 2 floors off of the outside. You can see there's a little gap there, and then chuck a wall on here like that. Get your vending machines. Go decently far back, probably to about just where it fits in, and then make sure it's flush against the wall, and then place the next one just next to it, wherever it is able to fit, like so. Make sure you turn off broadcasting, and then we're going to place a wall in front of it. Place this wall here like that, and one on the other side, and then just place a doorway here. Roof off that one, open up your bunker, and then make sure this one places against your outer triangles and not the inner walls. Break it off, and then that's all good to go. Seal yourself in, and the 2 pillars are done. Okay, so once we've finished our 2 pillars and we have roof access, all we need to do now is make sure you've got embrasures on the outside of your bunkers. To do that, it's just as simple as building out 2 triangles and then placing it from the outside. We're going to go back down onto the inside now, and we need to place half walls next to our ladder hatches on both sides. As you can see, the other one went in there. I'm just going to turn symmetry off now to show you how we do this next bit. Place a half wall here where the battery slot's going to be, and then build a square across there. If you've already placed your battery in there, you can just place it from wherever you have a free slot in here, and just your goal is to get a square floor in here. Next, just place ramps above and below it, and same on this side. This one you should already have a ledge here for your box storage, so you can just connect it off that. And 2 of those. We're going to fill both of those up with boxes as well. Again, I'll show you at the end of the video. Fill this up with frames, and then in here is just a bedroom with a locker, which you might have seen in the showcase. Same on that side as well. So that's the middle floor sorted, and this is sort of your main living space. I'll just add the battery in there now to show you what we do with that. I'll have a window on there, and then you just place the tier 3 in front of it, along with some sleeping bags. You have extra space here for a repair bench or whatever kind of items you want there. Just make sure you're not blocking the drop down or the jump up there. Alright, we're back up on the roof now. Symmetry's on, and just remember I'm still building in metal, which you guys don't have to do. It's entirely personal preference at this stage. So we're just going to start with the doorway and a window, same on both sides. And then 3 doorways on the outside. These can be a bit difficult to place because of the offset. I'll just go ahead and fix them up on this side. And then just get your doors out. Make sure the outer 2 are facing inwards, so not outwards, and then this middle one can open outwards. Again, do that on this side. Outwards, inwards, inwards, and then just seal it all off. After you've done that, you can go ahead and add the door and window here. Next, we'll go out here and just place windows on each of these sides, followed by a half wall. The half wall is temporary, we're just using it to place a frame down like this. After that's done, you can remove both of those and replace it with a load wall, just like so, and a ramp. I'll just add those roofs in because symmetry's been a bit buggy, and as you can see, that's what it should look like. Next, just come to the inside of your gatehouse down the bottom. This can really be done at any stage you feel like it. It's just a bit of honeycombing until you're up to the roof. So just place a triangle off the main base there, and then connect walls up, and you're just going to do this the whole way up until you get to about there. Okay, so finally we're going to finish up with the Palisade Peaks and do the roof. So just come over to our overhang side here and place a square on top of these 2 door frames that we placed down earlier. Then we're going to place 2 more door frames and triangles off the top of those. Now we're going to do half walls along all of these, and then windows on top of those. Next, we're just going to place a little jump up on either side. Shotgun traps will go underneath those, and then a roof to finish off the Palisade Peak here. Jump up onto our little jump up spot here, add a triangle off the top, add 3 half walls here with a triangle in the middle, and then seal it off with a square on top. Next, seal these 2 off here like that, then come over to the top of here, place one of these half walls facing towards you, same on this side, and then same here. Just jump on top of it and place your roof down like so. Do the same on this side, so half wall facing towards you, and towards you, and then a roof just like that. Alright, so it should be looking a little bit like this. Now we're just going to add some finishing touches. First one is the windmills, and second one is the SAM turrets. Now I like to just push these as far back in the center of the squares as I can, so be about there. And there you have it on both sides. And then I've just added some boxes in here as little jump up spots, so you can peek over the top of your roofs here. Alright guys, I'm going to add a section at the end of the video for turret placement and deployable placement. If you want to go and check that out, feel free. If not, thank you for staying. I know it's been a long video. There's a lot of effort went into this one, so let me know if you like it. Cheers guys. Alright, if you've stayed around for the turret trap and deployable placements, this is where we're going to start. It's at one of the bedroom pods. This one's pretty easy. It's just turrets facing outwards in either corner. It doesn't really matter where. And then just put the traps down here like this, flush against the right hand wall. There we go, and then add your chain links back in like this. Next we're going to go to the gatehouse and just place the turret so that it's like, if this is how you were doing it, you would sit right on the edge of the triangle and just place that front leg like 3 or 4 divots out from that center line there. Hope that makes sense, but you just don't want it all the way against the back wall. It gives you more coverage of your walls here. Heading on inside here is the next place you want to place one. If you didn't place this one already, you do need to reactivate this conditional bunker here. Conditional model here. The only way you can really do that is by upgrading to armored. But obviously it'd be ideal to do this earlier, so that you don't have to upgrade to armored. If you're doing it when you're placing it, you can just rotate the wall and it gets rid of it. Or just have them at different upgrade levels. Moving up onto here, we are going to place some shotgun traps in our little storage bays. These are completely optional. If you want to have some small boxes in here, then feel free to do that. That's the same on both sides, just like this. Moving up one more time, just above our little jump up here, we've got 2 more turrets. So one there, and then there'll be one on the other side. And then moving up again on the roof, we're just placing one on every triangle up here that you see. So one there, one there, one there, and one there. And then finally, we've just got some shotgun traps watching our jump ups, as you can see. All you have to do is place them right in the back corner. There's nothing tricky about that. So that's all your turret placements. If you've got all them, then you haven't missed anything, so that's good. Now we're going to move on to deployables. And again, we're going to start down at the bedroom pods. So we'll start with the boxes. Just place the box all the way against the right wall, all the way against the left wall, and then small box next to it, just like this. And then get your bed, place it as far right as you can on the first one, and then the other one just goes next to it on the left like that. That's that sorted. Moving up on into here, these ones are pretty straightforward. I'll just show you. We'll just place them as far back next to the turrets as you can. And then boxes in front, and same thing up here. Obviously I'm using no clip right now, but to like place them all the way back, just stand on a box, place a box there and stand on it if you want, just like this. Right, next to that we're going to place our automatic smelting, so jump up here, just going to place one there, one right next to it, and then one next to it like this, and then the box just goes against the back wall. It's actually easy to place the box first, I find. Just place it there, and then wherever this last furnace will fit, just like that. And there you go. That's the same on both sides as well. Coming across just above our drop down, this one's pretty straightforward as well. We'll just place the box across like this. And that's about all that sorted. Coming up to our final area. Make sure you don't forget to place the door and window like I have in here, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to start in the middle by placing boxes as central as possible. Just like that. And then beds coming off the end of them. Like this. And that's how it should be looking. So if you're done with that, guys, everything should be looking exactly how I've got it here. Plus or minus a few embrages and windows. Just didn't want to make this video any longer. Alright guys, cheers.